Now, crampons, they're kind of a unique thing. Unless you've been climbing, you probably haven't run into them in your daily life. That's okay. So I'm going to do a little bit of show and tell. I'm sitting here in my office, which doubles as my gear room here in Seattle. And so I got all sorts of shiny objects strewn around my desk and on the floor next to me. So let's talk a little bit about crampons and what you want to go get and what you want to go shopping for. All right, when we're talking about crampons for mountaineering, we are talking about a 12-point steel crampon. So that means that this material here is made out of steel. Aluminum crampons like these suckers, these are great. Look how flimsy that is. These are super light. This is for like snow. I have buckled these things under my weight standing on ice. This is not what we want for mountaineering. This is for like skiing stuff. All right, so don't get the lightweight aluminums, get steel. Steel is real, is the guide saying for that. We also want to make sure we have 12 points. That means we have 4 spikes in the back and generally 8 up front. Those 12-point steel crampons is really what we're looking for when we come to our mountaineering crampons. Now, there are some other crampons out there that will have like more points, like these suckers. And you can see that like there's more points on the bottom, the points on the front. The one on my left hand, they're flat. The one on my right hand, they're vertical. These are my ice climbing crampons. Frankly, they're heavier. I don't want to tote these things around. This isn't really what I need. They're built for ice climbing. They've got really aggressive secondary points. They've got really sharp and aggressive front points. This is for pure ice climbing. Like I'm going straight up vertical. This classic steel 12-point mountaineering crampon, this is what you're looking for. Now that you've got 12 points in steel, the second thing you want to look for is what the attachment system is to your boots. We call these the bales. So on the last slide, we already had boots up there. But really, you want to make sure that your crampon fits your boots. Now, this is my Denali boot. I don't typically use this one on Baker. It's a double boot. But what we're looking for is what's on the toe of the boot and what's on the heel of the boot. You have to have a little ledge on the toe of the boot for that wire to sit on. If you don't have that ledge, that wire won't fit your boot. In the same, we have a little ledge on the back of the boot. If you don't have that ledge on the back of the boot, then this throw won't actually fit on the back of the boot. If you don't have those two lips on your mountaineering boots, then you need a different style of crampons. That's okay. They make those too. You may see like a plastic toe cap rather than the metal bale. So you're looking at your boots and you're looking at your toe caps, and you want to make sure that these things work together. That's super important. Worst thing that can happen is you have a crampon that doesn't work with your boot. So what kind of resources do you have to make sure that happens? Number one, if you're shopping at a local gear shop, take your boot in with you. They will help you match those two things together. Number two, you have already mentioned the crew at CTSS is great for this. They're going to be happy to answer that question for you. Hey, this is my boot. This is the crampon I'm thinking about getting. Will those things work together? They're going to give you some things to ask or to look for to make sure that your crampon fits your boot. If you are a person with a larger foot that's really long, the last piece is you may need to make sure that you get a longer bar for here in the middle. That allows the crampon to actually extend longer and fit those larger size boots like 13s and 14s. It's a little bit of manufacturer's recommendations there, but that's one last thing to make sure that it fits. So we've got our crampons. We want 12-point steel crampons, and we want to make sure they fit your boot.